Hello, Lakadbaggha is in theatres. I highly advocate you go and see it. It's a passion project for this man called Anshuman Jha, and I'm very pleased to welcome the wonderful, beautiful Ridhi Dogra,
Thank you.
who is sounding immensely sexy with a husky voice, might I add.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's me and my voice.
Singer, songwriter, actor Paresh. Paresh Pahuja, how are you, buddy?
Very good, Hrishi. Thank you.
And Anshuman Jha himself, the producer, the lead actor.
Thank you for having us, Hrishi. Always a pleasure being here.
Many congratulations on getting married and really couple goals. I see your lovely wife and you together, and I see so much love in the air, and it's only befitting that we start with that.
Yes.
Yeah, this morning when
Give us the full lowdown. She's the reason for the film. She's the one who made you great.
She's the reason for the film. Lakadbaggha. I don't think she'll be very happy about that.
No, she's extremely simple, and I'm very grateful that she's in my life, and she's like my mom's last blessing actually. And this morning she was painting. There's a part of the house I don't like, so this morning I saw her when I came out, all the stress of the release and how it is, and I see her sitting on the ground painting.
How lovely.
And she said, you should do the other two. So it just
Aww. Grounding,
just pulls me back and my dogs were sitting, so I was like, life is actually simple, we can just chill.
Yeah,
It's okay, this too shall pass like everything else.
that's amazing.
Wow, I feel like getting married now.
All
should.
the best. Have fun.
I highly advocate marriage.
First, I always say,
Is that a sarcastic thing?
No,
Is that
I always
it's a
say,
fact. It's a fact.
figure
All the best,
yourself
have
out,
fun.
then get married.
sorry?
Figure yourself out,
Figure yourself out.
then get married.
True that.
Don't
True
get married out of excitement and because that's where the errors happen.
And how close art thou to figuring yourself out, Paresh?
I am ready, I just need a woman.
I figured myself out. There's nothing much here. Please, somebody, right?
I thought after Lakadbaggha it would be, I just need a hyena.
Yeah. Hi.
No.
Nah. I say hi, they say nah.
That is actually a
very
good
good
one. That's a really
You're
good
a
one.
worthy
PP.
successor to Javed Jafri.
Oh my god, I must be Naveed.
PP is on
Let's
fire
do the boogie woogie.
with the hyena.
5, 6, 7, 8.
But the fact that you're an animal lover is just apparent to anybody who sees the first frame of Lakadbaggha, and it stems from that, doesn't it? So, and I love the fact that for the promotion, Ridhi and you guys have been going to animal shelters, walking the talk, spending time with man's best friend. So talk to me about the animal part of it before we get into the filming.
This film is a love letter to dogs, Hrishi. Just pure and simple. And it's been made by animal lovers. It's been made by people who love not just dogs. Ridhi loves cats.
And dogs.
And dogs. And
Snakes.
And
And
snakes.
crocodiles.
And birds.
And cockroaches.
And monkeys. I love monkeys. Like,
So basically all of them get treated better than human beings.
Yes,
As far as you're
That's
concerned.
right.
I feel better around them, to be honest. Sometimes with human beings, I won't lie. I prefer being around animals sometimes, most of the times, to be honest. And this film, the starting point were my two indies who I have adopted. And there was a day in Juhu when I saw the security guard hitting a indie dog on the street, a homeless dog with a stick. And I got off the car and went and stopped him, and he said, so I grabbed the stick from his hand, and he said, वो कुत्ता है, उसको आप मार सकते हो, मुझे नहीं मार सकते. So that kind of sowed a seed subconsciously probably, that why do we just consider ourselves so privileged just because we are the human race, that we can do it,
talk, actually.
and just because we can talk. So that was 7-8 years ago. So I think that was a starting point, and then like-minded people got together. Jean-Marc Selva, the French DP, he loves animals. Simon Francois, the Belgian composer, he loves animals. So it was a very conscious decision to make a movie with people who really want to do this. And that's how we pulled it off. Otherwise, a film of this hygiene is not possible independently in the way we've pulled it off, with the crew that we've pulled it off, and the cast.
Because the part is nothing like you. I mean, it's an established fact that you love animals, and you have to be uncomfortable around animals. What is it about the script that spoke to you?
I think a lot spoke to me about the script. I think the number one thing was that it was about animals. It was about having a voice for the voiceless. So for me, that was I didn't really look at it as, oh, I'll do a film. I look at myself as an artist who can work in any medium. And when Anshuman, told me about the script, I was just like, I want to be a part of this. It's better than writing on your Instagram, don't hurt animals. Let's make a project and, actually speak about it in a, in a long format and in a way that it stays forever. So, and about having that scene with animals, it was interesting for me because I'm an animal lover. It's like my personal challenges. I keep challenging myself and I keep putting myself in situations where I'd be like, how do I do this, how do I do this? So it was interesting for me also to sort of get something out of me that is scared, and a lot of people complimented me also on that because people know I love animals, so they're like, you really look like there was some.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, you weren't jumping
Yeah.
when the dog was nipping you at your heels. You do what most uncomfortable people
Yeah.
who are trying to be brave do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk, but one eye is there.
Yeah.
The best
Which I think
thing,
is very
as,
cool.
an actor, the best thing is after the dog has left, she's done a little thing with her jacket that made Tiku.
I'm a cop.
I'm a cop. I'm in power. I'm okay.
He's like, you're scared of so it was fun. It was fun exploring that. How would a person like that be? It was fun.
And Paresh, what's not to love? I mean, he's suave, he's well spoken, but he's also a sociopath, man. I'm trying to look for any compassion that character has, and he doesn't have it. And that is always a wonderful thing for actors to explore.
Yeah.
That's your answer? Yeah.
It didn't sound like a question. It sounded like a
No,
compliment.
I mean, it is a compliment. But,
you.
to go about it. To go about a guy who's just so cold and calculating, but just keeps smiling all the time.
Yeah.
In a
Yeah.
condescending manner.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I've played a lot of good boy roles before this, and characters which have been very close to who I am. And when this one came to me, and it happened very last minute, I think I was the last person to be locked in the cast, and I went to meet him, and they narrated a little, we read a scene. And after that, it was just an exploration of, what this guy could be. And then as an actor, you stop looking at things from a very black and white point of view, You want to find out what's their motivation or what drives them or because लोगों को खुद को थोड़ी पता होता है कि वो बुरे हैं.
So you did a lot of backstory with Victor and with Anshuman.
With Alok
Yeah.
and Victor.
We
We did a lot of
workshopped,
workshops.
yeah.
I think that was the most fun part. Like we were actually like how you study for an exam. You study and you study and you study and you study. You go through the same thing over and over again. So by the time we were on set, it was like nobody needed to talk to each other.
And that's a process that,
improvise a lot.
yeah, because process, at the end of the day, for me personally, the process stays. The result, I mean, it's in destiny's hand where it goes. But the process is what is memorable. So even if you remember during Hum Bhi Akele, I told you that we made Zareen go through the whole thing,
Yeah.
which she had never done. But then she'll keep that with herself, right? So in this film also, we all took ourselves through that process where, and a lot of things in the screenplay have come from the actors during the workshop, which
Yeah.
were not even there in the screenplay.
Wow.
And then we put that. So
like this
Sure.
reaction to dogs,
Yes.
for
that
example.
whole transition.
Yeah.
Even our relation, like the I mean, I don't want to give anything away, but the reason why we are the way we are, it was explored. We worked on it during
And
prep.
it happens, right? Like we say conditioning, parenting, but two siblings can be really different from.
Totally. Yeah.
You've had this. Yeah.
All of us.
All of
All of us. I mean, a lot of people meet my brother and they can't believe your brother.
My brother and me are
I
like,
can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can.
I can.
Yeah.
What do I say? You're just an English version of it.
does his brother have the same deep voice?
Yeah, he has a good deep voice.
Okay.
He just uses it differently.
Yeah, but I see where you're coming from. I mean, in the sense that only if you work at it and if you do a backstory are you able to justify it to yourself, which is wonderful. The whole Krav Maga of it, I mean, it's just fantastic. And to me, I think that's a very important and pertinent thing because it's not the big guys who are dangerous. I mean, I remember back in school, I don't know if you went to a boys' school, but till a particular time I was in a boys' school, and then after that I went to a co-ed school.
Me too. So
In
six-
boys' school, the guys used to thump the shit out of other guys who were actually the thin, wiry guys, man. It was never the buffed up, beefed up guys.
Yeah.
You know, at least as adolescents and teenagers. So, you want to talk about that? The fact that your body type is not really muscly till you started working on this film, of course. And
All the muscle is gone now. No, I really believe, Hrishi, and I've said this to you before, that for me, these conventions and conditions that we put, that an action hero is supposed to be, 6 feet broad, these are prototypes which we as a society create so that we can be lazy. I really believe that, so that we don't have to then work and create. So for me, there is no box. The other day somebody said to me, it's out of the box. I said, for me, there is no box. It's an open field. And that's how I approach. So Krav Maga happened because we wanted a martial arts form which is, in Delhi, what you call kutai bazi. Like hand-to-hand combat, jisme kusand bazi ho. Because in street fighting, you don't wait for the perfect position and go into slow-mo and do the perfect round kick. I love that. That's very cinematic. But we were going for, I love Korean movies, Thai movies, which have... So that's why Krav Maga came in, and then we zeroed in on who's the best man on the planet for Krav Maga, and Sahi Simesh came in, who has trained the Avengers cast, and he was kind enough to, have me in New York and train me. And I couldn't have done this film if I didn't know the minute details of the martial arts. Because Sahi is a wiry guy, but he has in reality taken down 14, 15 bigger men. So it's just about understanding the human anatomy and what damage can be caused at what point. So yeah, that's how Krav Maga happened, and I think everyone's loving the action. So
the action choreographer is somebody who's worked on Ong Bak.
Yes, Kecha Kamphagdi. He's from Ong. He's the action designer of Ong Bak 2. He was also on Bahubali in one sequence for the hand to hand, because they got him down. He's amazing, and
but I have to say this about this film and Anshuman particularly, that he's really, like if we're all praising RRR and their win at Golden Globes, which is fantastic, and I feel like Anshuman as an independent producer, he's really tried to make this film a global sort of spectacle for Indian audiences. He's got somebody from we know he's got a French DOP, he's got a Belgian music composer, he's got this action director of Ong Bak. It's really special. He's gotten himself trained by the people, the crew of Avengers. I think it's really special that somebody is trying to make a film for the Indian audiences, keeping in mind the global sort of.
And it's not easy to do.
It's not easy at all.
You're not Mr. Moneybags.
Exactly.
Not at all.
So there must have been lots of mails.
Mr. Hustler.
Yeah, lots of mails, lots of not giving up,
Not
just
giving
following
up.
up.
Yeah.
handwriting letters. Like to Sahi, I wrote a handwritten letter why I want to make this film, and I mailed him. I scanned it and I mailed him saying this is a film for animals, and because it was not possible for our production house to afford his fee. You know what I mean? But then he was very kind to come on because of the script. And
that's what artists do.
And that's the case with everyone on this project. Like Jean-Marc, the French DOP, Jean-Marc Selva, I don't know if you've seen Bhopal, A Prayer for Rain. That's the Indian collab that he's done. And then he did No Fathers, which was Ashwin and, an Oscar nominee. So there was a lot. This film we wanted a foreign eye to look at Kolkata, because whenever I go to New York, I even look at the gutter and find that fascinating. So I thought if a foreign eye comes and looks at Kolkata, they'll look at it very differently than the way I would or Victor would. And he's done that, because if you see the texture of the film, it's very unique.
Speaking of which, your character does have a fair amount of hand-to-hand combat. You're also, you're trained in the martial arts in the film. The screenplay says that. So your experience of working with these people, I mean, you didn't obviously go to New York and train, but working with the action choreographer.
Anshuman just took himself for that.
The action choreographer. Right. How was that, man?
It was really cool, man. Actually, we rehearsed all the sequences. Like everything was very well detailed and well planned. And I didn't have the most flexible physique at that time. But we trained really hard, and it's looking quite sleek.
We rehearsed more than we shot.
Actually, everything was like theatre.
I tried to do that.
Everything was like theatre.
I think that was brilliant.
Yeah,
that was a great choice. Or whatever, It was great because it was honestly like sitting and just going and doing our work, and we don't need to ask anything.
Like
also, Kolkata or Calcutta is a character in the film, which I really loved.
Yeah.
I mean, lesser known fact, we schooled in Cal till we were in our 8th standard. My dad was working there.
Wow.
And then we moved, and I was like, man, this makes me nostalgic. I mean, even though I mean, we left when I was, whatever, 12, 13 years old. I mean, but it's a fantastic city. It's the city of Tagore and Ray, and you have Tagore
Yes.
in one of your songs.
Yes.
The other end of the spectrum, it's the city of football, and it's also the a place like characters like that Kaku.
Yes.
Haraj Mukherjee. He's known as the
Brilliant.
Bachchan of Bengal. right?
Yeah, man, you know, who will sit there and do a shop with can do anything. for
And they
you.
have so much
Careers in books,
information, and they
Information.
write off everyone because they know so much. They have so much knowledge.
So
That's
Kolkata
classic
was because
Bengali.
of Victor? Was because of Victor or because, I mean...
No.
you again?
Kolkata was because before we got Victor on board, there were a few things and a few people who were locked, and Kolkata was locked simply because we had read this news piece which Alok, the writer, and me had jammed on about a biryani racket, which is inspired by true events. There was a 2018-19 news report where because of a shortage of mutton and chicken meat, dog meat was being used, which is the tipping point in the film, right?
I've stopped eating chicken after that.
But it does, it really spoke to
happens.
me. I didn't know whether I should speak about it, whether it's a spoiler or not.
No,
But
it's-
really,
it's-
it made me jump out of my seat. literally.
Also, I love Kolkata, and I think it has because of its culture and its art and its literature, it has a certain aesthetic which is its own. It's very unique. So we just thought that if we set a film there in Chinatown, in and around, it kind of leverages itself to the whole action space. And also then the biryani thing. And also Kolkata port is notorious for illegal animal trade. So from the Sundarbans, a lot of butterflies, turtles get collectors pay, and I'm not making this up, we've researched, pay like 2 million, 3 million rupees for butterflies. So that's where
But
that.
people are crazy. If
Which
what
is
we
what
read
Paresh's
was
character is, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why Kolkata, because the story demanded it to be set in Kolkata.
That's extraordinary. I'm going to come to the music because a brand hired me to do a series of rock concerts around the country. And these rock concerts were basically college bands playing, but they were headlined by Underground Authority and EPR.
Oh wow.
And I did a 7-city tour with EPI. One thing that freaked me out was he's a Tambram who speaks fluent Bangla. And I'm like, are you a South Indian? Are you a Bengali? What are you? And just the fact that, you know, he believes in the whole hip hop wrestle, and he's on fire on stage, man. He's something else. I mean, there were venues in the Northeast where I was emceeing, and I would get off stage, and, you know, he'd come on, and, you know, people would take off their t-shirts and throw it at him and things like that. So getting him onto the film, your idea, your music director's idea, talk to me about that.
No, that is Victor's idea. EPR was brought on. I wanted a rap song for the training. I was very clear that it needs to be an upbeat Kolkata rap. And Victor sent me 3 pieces that EPR has done previously. And he said, why don't you listen to him? And I loved it. And I said, let's talk to him. So Victor sent me his number, and I just called him up. And again, I told him about the film. I said, this is the space, this is the world we are creating. He said, Anshuman, why don't you write a paragraph? Everything you've just said to me, just put it in a paragraph. And I swear to you, Hrishi, I have the messages. I wrote a paragraph about what the film is. And he's nailed every word of that in the lyrics of the rap song.
Wow.
You know, Vigilante, Animal Lover, Kolkata Revolution.
That's amazing. I didn't know that.
So EPR is like artists like EPR are such a blessing to the country, I feel, because and it was very fast. You know, I sent him today. I spoke to him and sent him today, and within 48 hours I had the lyrics, and then we recorded it the next day, and then we sent it to Simo in Belgium, and then they jammed on the tempo and stuff, and that's how practice till I crack this.
I was doing this national tour with him, right? So I'll finish a gig, maybe at Roorkee, and I'll say, okay, man, I'll see you the next one. Where is it? Goa. And he'll go if I don't get arrested.
Oh.
Because his rap is that in the face, man. He's anti-establishment.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He just gives it, you
Yeah.
know. And then he told me, I mean, over some beverages, that it's a miracle that he hasn't been arrested as yet.
Love
Yeah,
it.
coffee
So I'm
shops
like,
are-
touch wood, dude, you know.
You know, we are very as artists. That's the one thing that connects all of us, especially the ones who stand for something and therefore don't fall for anything. People like EPR. who we believe in the passion of things. So even though we might be doing different genres, at least the voice is the same. So he connected with the animal aspect and the fact that we were trying to get the indie dogs adoption out. He's an animal lover as well.
Yeah.
So
Wonderful. Ridhi, this is you would look at this cop, surrounded as she is in this male bastion police station, and say, what is it that she would find attractive in Anshuman's character? And
Right.
you can't fathom.
Right.
Is that a question you asked at all during workshops?
Of course. Of course. And I have a
Because
backstory.
it is really an unlikely.
I have
Yeah.
a backstory.
I mean,
ready
one
for
thing
it.
is, at some point she says, you remind me of my father, which is a great thing because
Right.
girls have this thing. You
Yeah.
know. I have 2 daughters, so I'm very happy with that. Let them be reminded of me all the time.
Wherever they go.
Wherever they go.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying. But other than that, yeah.
No, so I mean, I don't want to give a lot away, but there is a story that I have in my mind about why Akshara has, and rightly, the question that you're asking is the question I asked myself. I sent it to the producer, and I told him that I've now seen the film 4 times, and these are my points about Akshara and why she did what she did. And it all makes sense in my head and in my world, but I would like the audience to see the film. I don't want to give away anything. I don't want to feed them that this is why she's doing what she's doing. So I would love to talk about it, but I don't want to. But yeah.
And who's this incredible actress? I mean, she plays her girlfriend in the film. Is she
Yeah.
actually Korean? Is she from the Northeast? Tell all.
Iksha Kurin is introduced in Lakadbaggha. She's a real life cop.
Cop, yeah.
She's
She's a
in
real life
Sikkim
cop.
police.
It's amazing.
She's a mixed martial artist kickboxer.
She's a supermodel.
She's a supermodel. And fun fact, she was judged by Milind some
Soman.
years ago on MTV's supermodel
Correct.
competition, which I didn't know of at that time. And Milind told
Damn,
me
it's
later.
always Milind Soman.
I feel your pain.
So she auditioned her way into this film, and my God, that girl is fire in terms of. She was difficult to shoot with in some ways, simply because she's not a trained actor. So
Right, yeah.
when she does action, she goes for it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, and she has this bone on her wrist which is like protruding out. So when you're stopping her, you're getting smashed because she's coming full power because she doesn't know where to stop.
Dude, that's genes at play. She was born to do this, that means.
Yeah.
How did you like my action? I want to know.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something which is really grossly unfair to the men in this room, but sorry
with
Paresh
that.
and sorry Anshuman,
Go for
but
it.
every time Ridhi and that
Isha.
lady
Yeah,
would
yeah.
come on screen, it's
Yeah.
just stunning.
Yeah, I agree.
Irrespective of what they did, whether they take a walk with you or doing martial arts, it's just absolutely stunning.
I second you.
100.
And here's Ridhi, she'd be in a casual jacket, whatever, and you're just staring at her. That's it.
Yeah.
We just stand in the same frame hoping some light comes.
Yeah, but great job, and she's also done a fabulous job.
Aksha.
She's my favorite character because we've not really had a femme fatale assassin sort of a Kill Billish homage to
Yeah, I was thinking Kill Bill. I
Black
was thinking,
Mamba.
yeah.
So that was the space. Like I was telling
The girl with no name.
the girl with no name. That's how she was in the script. The girl with no name.
Tell me about the music composer. I went to the credits. Very European. You just said Belgium. Is he Belgium?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Simon Francois lives in Liège in Belgium. He makes string instruments. He has won every award possible in Europe. I think the next thing he'll win is an Oscar because he
Wow.
is he's supremely talented. He lives with his dog and a huge animal lover again. He has a studio on the ground floor and has a lovely house. And I just went there for 10 days and I just put a schedule on his table that 10 to 6 we'll work every day. So he looked at me and he said,
My God,
He said-
Anshuman, you did it to him also.
He said, every day? That's the schedule? I said, yeah. He said, can I have the night? Will you go out with me at night? I said, sure. If we work 10 to 6, whatever you say, post 6. So that was our schedule, and my God, that man's a talent. He understands storytelling. Like, I don't think I'll be able to do a movie without him, to be honest. He's also composed for our next film, Lord Curzon Ki Haveli. So Simon Francois, Belgium, just remember that name because he's going to be doing a lot of work, I think.
So, Paresh, the fact that here's a guy who's a pianist, who's a master villain, like I said, lacks feelings, but also is a bit of a chef.
Yeah, a bit of a chef.
a bit of a chef.
Thoda sa.
What were your questions? Like, Ridhi said very categorically, these were my questions to Anshuman. Did you have questions for Victor and Anshuman, or did you just say, man, this is it? This is the script. I'm going to go with it. Not too many questions asked.
I did have a lot of questions. And
He had a lot of questions for my character also.
I'm a very curious person. I mean, the basic is, what does he want in life? In general. I mean, in the story, he wants a hyena, but what does he want? Some of us want love, some of us want fame, recognition, money,
Power.
respect, power. So I just had to find that out. And the other question was, how far will he go to get it?
Ah.
And once we have that, we know the rhythm of the character, we know the urgency, we know what all can he do to get it. But most of it was there in the script, and then Alok, our writer, and Victor and Anshuman, they'd spent so much time with the script, they had all the answers. And
So I believe Victor is quite a ledge down in the eastern side of this country, man. Like in Bengal, he's done a substantial amount of work. Ahmed, who is your publicity guy, was telling me, I said, who's this guy? I don't know him.
Yeah, Victor's done a lot of stuff on the OTT. Like how I know Victor's, I did the launch show of Z5 called Babbar Ka Tabbar. 2 seasons I shot, Manu Hrishi, Aisha, ma'am and me, and with Avneet and Bhavin, and Victor directed that. That's where we met, and he's done another feature film which he shot before this, but it's still not released, called Sweet Dreams, which is a Geo film. So he's done a lot of interesting work. He's been at Red Chilies. So he's an action lover, and the reason we collaborated was we were in Arunachal for another shoot which is going to come out later this year, called 4x4. It's a series, and I just told him the opening sequence because I had the opening scene, the first 10 minutes, the chase, and he loved it. He jumped on it, and he said, "Lakadbaggha naam rakh." I was like, wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, the iconic Milind Soman. Seven women have asked me already.
Wow.
7 women have asked me on the phone.
7 is a good
When is he
number.
coming? Why isn't he where is he here? My favorite Milind Soman story. There are many over the years. So he's filming for Padmavat, one of these Bansali kind of films. So
I won't say it.
Bajirao
I was
Mastani.
trying to do a travel show. So I'm following up with him and this and that. Motu, come to Film City. I'm in my vanity.
I totally believe this.
Motu, I'm in my vanity. Just come, bring your mic, shake, whatever. How long will you take? Half an hour? 40 minutes? Achha, you come, we'll see. So I have reached Film City in that Bansali set where this and that, and Radha Tiwari and Bansali have been walking around looking at it.
Nobody
He's
can
not
see you.
there. He's not there, and I'm waiting. I'm standing outside. This is unka cabin hai, ye hai, wo hai. He has run in from the Film City road. He has come in barefoot and he's come running.
Oh wow.
So I said, where are you coming from? He said, from the other. So I said, what? You came running? Yeah, I decided to run. He said, I decided to run. So either he ran from Dadar or Bansali's car which came to fetch him. At some point he ditched the car and he came running in. And then he got into his regal whatever Peshwa.
Amazing.
Now you're going to say that story is
Now
not
that's
You
the
made it
before
up.
and after.
You made it up.
what rubbish. I have so many other stories.
That was when I was shooting Captain Vyom. I used to run from my house to the studio.
Wow.
We were
That's
shooting
crazy.
in
That's
Film
amazing.
City.
Oh my god, I can
But
see
because-
girls going
Yeah.
crazy outside. They're like,
Not during Bajirao. No, I don't think so. I can't remember that actually.
Yeah, one of these.
my
One
god,
of the-
it's amazing. Look at them.
Kind of thing.
But
Yeah.
running is running.
Yeah,
So
running is running.
I don't know when I started, but I haven't stopped.
Guys, I'm just looking at
It's
3
like
girls
run,
who are going
Forrest,
crazy looking at
run.
me.
Yeah.
Why would you be impressed by an independent producer who calls his film production house First Ray Films? Was it love at first ray?
There was a lot of discount.
Yeah.
But the main thing was I really liked the story. And he was so passionate about it.
And in
Right.
part 2, it's only going to be you.
Is
you're
it?
You're the leading man, is it?
I don't know. Has he decided after the response to the first part?
Yeah, there's a part
No, no.
for sure.
But I like the dynamic of a martial arts,
Yeah.
wielding father who
Right.
says kick and pressure and this
Yeah.
and that.
Attack.
And things like that. In your various avatars of swimmer, marathon runner,
Sometime actor.
Cyclist.
cyclist,
Always
One-time
Supermodel.
model. Okay.
Always super.
lover of women, husband,
Yes.
many avatars. Was there ever a martial arts phase in your life?
Actually, no. Except for my, being a fan of Bruce Lee. Ever since I saw my first Bruce Lee film, which was when I was a child.
Enter the Dragon.
It was probably Big Boss.
Big Boss.
Okay.
Or Fist of Fury.
Yeah.
Enter the Dragon, that's right, everybody starts talking about it and it's Enter the Dragon, but I think that's one of the films I saw later. But he's, in everything, you see a picture of him, he's amazing. Just a photograph. It's fantastic.
So that's the only martial arts connection. You never went and did
No.
some Malkham in Shivaji Park.
Malkham is not, well, it is
Ridiculous.
actually a basis of martial art at that time. It was started as an exercise to be stronger, to fight. But I've done a little bit of Malkham. Very little. I'd love to do more.
I think the only time you have
there
kept
was
silent, is
I'll tell
when
you
Cyrus
one-
Brocha anchored your book launch, where he
Yes.
spoke more than you and he didn't allow you to speak.
But he's like that.
I'm
He's
sure
been like
you
that
were
since
happy
the age of
about that.
6.
You must have hired him to do
I've been
that.
Yeah,
telling
I'm
him,
sure.
Cyrus, shut up, Cyrus, shut up. I used to have a crush on his sister,
Yeah.
Giselle. And every time I would try to talk to her, he would come and stand there and start talking. He was 6. And since then I've been saying, Cyrus, shut up, Cyrus. He just doesn't listen. Just doesn't listen.
So talk to me about his name Torun.
Tarun Bakshi.
Torun.
Bakshi.
Mr. Torun.
Talk about
I am Mr. Torun, but I should have called you Arjun, which I never did.
Yeah.
Why didn't I do that?
You can always do it in the sequel.
Forget about it, guys. Let's move on.
In the sequel. Yeah, talk to me about Torun.
Torun. Well, Torun is an amazing guy. I mean, he's great at martial arts, and he's supremely ideological, like a lot of Bengali people. Oh, you're Bengali.
I'm not Bengali, Milind, Soman.
Sorry,
South
Maharashtrian.
Indian.
You're South Indian. Oh, you're South Indian. You're Indian. It's okay. So he's very ideological. Like things have to be, the way he wants them to be. Otherwise, he's very, very disappointed. And he tries, to impart his wisdom to
Pass on that toxicity
pass
to his
it on.
child.
Yeah, I think so. But no, he takes it in very good spirit. I mean, Arjun really grows up to be a wonderful guy, as we can see in the film, standing up for the voiceless, which is what we all should be doing. And that's it.
And he gives a watch to his son. Is that it? Is it a watch?
Yes.
Yeah, he does.
Have you ever gifted a watch to anybody? Wife not counted.
Yes, I have. Lots of people, because I don't generally wear watches. This is like a 12-year-old watch. It only tells the time. There's nothing else in it, which is what a watch should do.
Yeah.
But you can throw it from the 10th floor and nothing happens. But
Yeah.
whatever watches people have given me, I've always given them away because they had too many things in them that I didn't need.
So you still don't wear one of those
Sports
Smart
watch.
watches.
No,
No,
what
no.
athletes wear to track
Sports
their
watch.
Yeah, sports watch.
No,
Oh wow.
I don't.
You don't need number of steps, you don't need number of
No,
kilometers, you
no.
don't need
I listen to my heart.
Yeah, I
North
agree.
Point,
I
South
love that.
Point.
Disagree,
Yeah.
I'm the
Love
same.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah. And you have people to remind you for interviews, so it's okay.
that's
call
true.
you.
People, for the rest, there are people to remind
There are
me.
people to
Listen to
remind.
my heart. For the rest, there are people to remind me.
I love it.
Now you should wax eloquent about your cast. Anshuman Jha, Paresh, Pahuja and Ridhi Dogra.
Well, in one word, fantastic.
Yes.
I mean, I saw the film 4 or 5 days ago, and I was completely blown away by it because it's so simple. I like that about storytelling. It has to be simple, nothing extra, nothing superfluous, just everything that needs to be said to tell a beautiful story. And I'm not talking about the messages here because messages are what you take. You can take a message from Arjun, you can take it from Torun, you can take it from Aryan, you can take it from Akshara, you can take it from the highlight. You can take.
Very impressive, you remember character names.
Yeah.
I do. But I'm Torun
Well
after all.
done, Torun.
So it's just beautifully told, a simple story that we've never seen before. And that's something that I like especially. I mean, you're asking me why I said yes. I'm always looking for something new to do, something that surprises me. That's it. I mean, my whole life has been about surprising myself.
Since
If I'm not surprised, it's not worth it.
Since you're a sexy animal,
Yeah, dude.
are you an animal lover? And if so,
course.
what would be your favorite?
Of course. My favorite animals, there are 2. One is a snake and one is a cat. So I've always had snakes and cats in my house.
I can. A lot
You-
of people
you know
can
you heard
write
about the
things
snake.
about snake.
Yeah, you heard about the snake. I know. Snake was out there.
Yeah, I was out there.
But so when I was a child, in fact, quite similar to the subject of the story, a lot of people get pets at home, and especially for the kids, they can, mummy, mujhe billi chahiye, kutta chahiye, something, puppy chahiye, puppy. So they get the puppy, and after some time, maybe the kid gets fed up, or the parents get fed up, and then they kind of abandon the pet. It's terrible, it's really terrible. So even when I was young, a lot of my friends used to come to me and say, I got this rabbit, but my mother is very upset. Can you take the rabbit? And I would take the rabbit. So I'd keep the rabbit at home. So I had rabbits, mice, turtles, tortoises, snakes, fish, pigeons. I mean, all
Amazing.
kinds of animals just going in and out of my house. A lot of them were rescued, a lot of them were injured, so I used to take care of them. I loved animals. The only channel I used to watch on TV was Animal Planet and National Geographic. There was no other, stuff. Besides science fiction, of course. But animals, I've always loved animals, being around animals, watching animals,
There's a marketing.
learning from animals.
There's a
Don't stop me
marketing-
from talking.
Yeah, marketing tip.
Yeah.
There's a marketing tip. I mean, it's only to prompt you to.
And you know, all martial arts come from observing
Animals.
animals.
Yeah.
Observing
Like I
animals.
trained in Kalari, and
A
Kalari is
snake
all
and the
about
monkey shadow.
Not only
Animal
that,
movements.
in fact, all medicine
Animal
comes from
flow.
observing animals.
Yeah.
You know what animals eat, how they respond. Like Shilajit, for example, how they discovered the power of Shilajit is that goats in that region used to lick it and then jump around the mountains. So experiments started on Shilajit.
Great.
So a lot of the medicines that we talk about today, in ancient times, people just observed animals to see what they were doing and learned from them.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for the lesson in Shilajit.
I know. That
This is
was
the most
It'll make you jump
important
around.
part. This is the most important part
so
of this
important.
book
Didn't
is
know.
the Shilajit.
Shilajit.
Lakadbaggha
That's
tell
the
us
story
something
more
about
important.
Shilajit.
Interesting marketing idea would be to have Milind Soman run along with animals. Interesting marketing idea. For Lakadbaggha. Interesting marketing idea, Milind Soman running with animals.
I think what would be
Lovely.
more visually exciting is you running with animals. Yeah, I can train you for that. Like I
Which
train
is running
Arjun.
ahead. Yeah. As long as I get one of those claw kind of things that you wear in your feet. Either you're barefoot or you're wearing that. What
It's
is the
always
thing called?
Vibrams.
What are they?
Yeah.
Vibrams.
It's an Italian company called Vibram.
So it keeps vibrating.
I
your
don't know why
foot.
it's called Vibram, but it's just like a sock. It's like a toed sock, but has a very the sole. It's a very thin sole, but has a great grip. So this company actually makes shoes for boats. So so you really need a
Okay, so
great
you
grip.
stay
They've got the
grounded.
best. So a lot of shoes in the world use a Vibram sole, even if it's
Is it to do with the material?
It's the way they treat the rubber.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
See, when you get Milind, you can talk cinema, you can talk animals, you can talk Vibram, Shilajit.
Chemistry,
The works.
biology, physics. Yeah.
Everything! Have you shown the wife the film? What does she think of
Yes.
Lakadbaggha?
We
Yes,
want
we
to
watched
know.
it together. She loved it. In fact, I got 50 of my friends, and they all loved it. And they were all women, and they kind of vibed with the whole animal love thing. Everybody liked it. I haven't got a single response, even from my family or my friends, which said that it should have been like this or there should have been that. I think everything was perfect.
Listen, this is a serious question because it's not a spoiler. The film does say to be continued.
Yes,
Yeah?
yes.
So, is there a sequel? What are you thinking? Are the preliminary ideas? Have you talked to anybody about it? I don't know.
Yes, part 2, it's been in the writing for a good part of 3 months, and the action will be bigger. It will be set somewhere in South Asia, and there are going to be a few more characters, and it's
And few more animals.
a few more animals, and it's you'll see a lot of Mr. Soman.
You told me
Oh,
you'd given up
wow.
sugar and you would have only jaggery. You still do that?
Yeah,
I've not given it up, but I prefer jaggery over sugar because it's more nutritious. And sugar is actually, because it's too processed and too refined,
Right.
Yeah.
it acts like a drug, So, yeah, try to stay away
I also
from
like the
drugs.
taste of jaggery. In my house, we only get jaggery.
Yeah, jaggery is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, the kind of nutritive value it has is fantastic. Everybody should eat more jaggery. I have
So, you
about
don't have any
quarter
pets
kilo of jaggery
anymore.
every
You
day.
don't have any pets anymore.
I do. I have a cat called Nui. She's a black
Louis,
cat.
oh, lovely, lovely,
Who I
lovely.
got when she was about 2 weeks old. Somebody found her in a ditch. She's still traumatized after 9 years.
Really?
Yeah, she hates being picked up because she thinks maybe somebody's
Someone's
going to
going
throw
to
her
throw her.
somewhere. But yeah, she's beautiful. Beautiful.
Okay.
Wow.
Hates me though.
Why?
Because
I
you
know, she
picked
loves
her
my
up.
mother.
Ah.
So cats normally bond with one person.
One
Oh,
person.
Mrs. Soman is the OG, man.
Oh, she's amazing.
Oh, she's amazing.
She's amazing.
And my cat knows that.
I was just so thrilled when she saw the film. I mean, with all due
Yeah.
respect to everyone,
Yeah.
I kept telling him
Yeah.
because I really think if the film works, and in Bengal, in Kolkata, I realized that all the people who are conscious, especially the elderly, if they connect with your film, then I truly feel there's hope for the narrative. And I can't wait to have dinner with her someday
Yeah, we
and
must.
ask her.
We must.
Okay, last question. This is going to be about travel. What's a lovely travel destination that you've gone to, Milind Soman? Recently, you go traveling somewhere, and I don't mean just running. You go swimming.
Yeah, I
Good
swear.
specify that.
Swimming, diving, trekking,
Where?
climbing.
Where?
But diving in the Red Sea last year in July or August, I don't know, it was incredible.
Is that where you just float?
No,
so that's the Dead Sea.
Scuba
That's the
diving.
Dead
That's
Sea.
the Dead
Sea.
Sea.
Israel,
That
that's
was
what-
6, 7 or 8 years ago. But I prefer rather than floating to dive again. It's about the underwater wildlife. It's just incredible. And I hadn't been to the Red Sea before. I've been diving for more than 30 years. But it's spectacular. I think diving anywhere is spectacular because it just takes you into a completely alien world.
94.3
One world, your station.
Radio 1.